Welcome to Buckets, your daily NBA betting podcast, live from the Tommy John Home Studios. When you're truly comfortable, you do everything better, and that includes betting. So let's get to our plays. We've got a Tuesday card that we're looking at, an 8-game slate. I'm your host today, Brandon Kravitz, at BK Picks in the app. If you want to follow my roller coaster of college basketball plays, have been all over the place with that godforsaken sport. Jay Money is Money. He joins me to break down the card. Jay, I don't know if you venture into college basketball, into that world this time of year. I am a very recreational college basketball bettor. I love March Madness, but I don't lock into this sport throughout the course of the season, if I'm being truly honest with everybody. I'm an NBA guy. But I am reminded in these moments that it's probably best if I stay in my lane. I don't know if you run into the same problems or if you're wiser than I.
Yeah, well, we're a little older, we're a little up there now. So I kind of look at them like, man, I don't know if I want to mess around with betting on these kids, man. But I mean, it's definitely fun. I'm with you. I kind of just dibble and dab. I kind of just pick and choose my spots. But I think I knew that college basketball was a little different when a team was down, when teams will be down 8 or 9 and they're still fouling. That's pretty crazy to me. And then I saw another player, they were down 5 and he took a half court shot and made a three, and the spread just happened to be 2.5. So there's crazy things that go on in college basketball. Really fun to watch, not always fun to bet on.
That's a good way to put it. So let's stick with what we do know. So let's live within our comfort zone here. A reminder that everything that we talk about can be found in the award-winning Action Network app, as well as quick slips for our picks today in the episode description. Our guy David will have you all hooked up with that. We're going to go back and forth here, give our picks. We'll get into it, and then we'll get out. Jay, what are you looking at on the Tuesday card?
Give me the Orlando Magic minus 4.5 over the Hornets.
See, now you're just sucking up to the host. You know, I'm in the Kia Center. The Magic just dusted the LA Lakers. It was Dwight Howard night. We got a chance to talk to him during the broadcast tonight. He's all happy, campaigning to have his jersey retired with the organization. But go ahead, talk me into it. As I've said on this podcast before, I usually don't need a strong nudge to back the Orlando Magic, especially when they take on a team as bad as the Charlotte Hornets.
Exactly. I mean, honestly, I don't think that the Hornets are horrible. When they play LaMelo Ball and Bridges, like, they're not a bad team. I actually had high hopes for the Hornets this year, and it was way before Brandon Miller got injured. They just didn't, like, out of the gate. I expect them to be a lot better with a new coach. But unfortunately, they're looking towards next season already, man. Man, free LaMelo Ball over there, because he really deserves a whole lot. He's really a true superstar type of guy in this league. And can carry a team, but he's going to be going up against a tough defense here tonight, man. I like the Magic minus 4.5 here. We could start with it here. I mean, they've already beaten this team 3 times. They're 3-0 straight up and in against the spread so far this season. But go back even a little further. This team is 8-2 straight up and in against the spread. Their last 10 matchups versus the Hornets. It's just a tough matchup for the Hornets. They're a great offensive team. Don't really like physicality, and that's exactly what the Magic are gonna bring here. And I know that the Magic are coming off a big win. It is a back-to-back, but don't look now. The Magic are starting to play a lot better basketball. They're 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games. Just beat a great Lakers team as well. And the Lakers, it's not like they came in just not caring about the game. They needed that win tonight, and the Magic, I mean, held them to 106 points. The defense travels, man. I coach a team myself, and I tell them, how do we win games? We win with defense, man. So I know that the Magic don't really have a point guard, and they can struggle on offense sometimes. But when you play lights out defense, you're always going to give yourself a chance to win, always going to give yourself a chance to cover a spread as well. They have the size advantage in this game. As long as they don't let LaMelo go for 40 or 50, I think they can win this game by double digits, in my opinion, man. So you have one team looking toward that's planning vacations, Brandon, and then you have another team that's trying to get ready and get themselves in playoff mode. And I think the Magic make it back-to-back wins here, and actually 3 straight as well. And last point, it's not it's a back-to-back, but it's not third game in 4 nights, because they had 2 days of off before this Lakers game. So it is a back-to-back, but it's not that the worst spot where it's the third game in 4 nights. Not far travel. I like the Magic here to come and bring the defense and continue those good vibes going as they head into the playoffs.
That flight from Orlando to Charlotte is like hour and a half, maybe. And I'm sure that as we're recording this, they're already mid-flight, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. This is a team that desperately needed some confidence in the win column. It's crazy. They had not won back-to-back games, the Orlando Magic, since mid-February. But that back-to-back, the back-to-back wins they collected in mid-February was separated by the All-Star break. So if you're really going, okay, back-to-back wins in a normal routine of an NBA schedule, you would have to go all the way back to before Christmas for this Magic team. That's how up and down they've been in this later stretch of the season, dating back to even before the All-Star break. This win against the Lakers, mind you, the win before it was against the Wizards, but now you're talking about 3-1 in your last 4 with wins against the Lakers and the Cleveland Cavaliers in there.
Yeah.
There's something real going on with the way this team is turning it around, and I think a big piece of this is the offense. The offense has gotten significantly better. They're knocking down threes. I think it's just simple variance. They were so bad. I mean, we talk about college basketball. They looked like St. John's out there for most of the season, just bricking everything that they put up. They're knocking down their threes. Paolo looks a lot better. He has 30 plus in his last 3 games. I haven't seen the number pop out yet, but I'd be interested in the Magic team total over with the way this team's playing. I think the perception is still this is a team that can't score, but they've been filling it up lately. And the Hornets, as you mentioned, they already have their bags packed, and they weren't a good defensive team to begin with. So if that number, the total in the game is 211, and the spread's at 4.5, so you're probably looking at something south of 110. I'm probably thinking like 105.5, something like that would be the team total. I would hit the over on that, along with the Orlando Magic to cover the spread. I like that.
Yeah, it should be somewhere around 107.5. It should be somewhere around that. The way that the spread and the total is, do a little adding and subtracting, should be 107.5 for the match there. But I'm with you. I mean, even if it was 110, I'd take a nice hard look at that as well, man. So definitely need the match. And you know what? They've upped their pace a little bit. They know if you're like, we can't be walking the ball up the floor. If it's a struggle for us in the half court, that's just common basketball sense. If you're struggling in the half court, that means you need to get out and transition, even off of a made basket. You need to be moving fast, move with pace. That way you catch the defense off guard. And I expect them to do that same thing here. So a lot of confidence in the Magic here to keep it going. If they could beat the Cavs on the road by 5, definitely think they can beat the Hornets on the road by 5.
That was really good live math on your part. That's not not my specialty. Didn't have the calculator out. My best bet on the night, I'm going to go with the Golden State Warriors -5. I have a slight interest in an escalator up to -10 because I think they are going to smack the Miami Heat. I'm not going to overthink this one. Jimmy Butler about to go wild against his former team. You can make the case for the Miami Heat going all out because they want to stick it to Jimmy for all the turmoil that he caused this season. I just don't really care how motivated they are. Give me the team that can actually do something about it. Miami lost 10 straight games before getting an uninspired win against the Charlotte Hornets, who, as we have mentioned, are in tank mode. The Warriors have the rest advantage. They've been off for 2 days. Miami just won. Since Jimmy Butler was traded to the Golden State Warriors, the Dubs have gone 16-4, and they're likely holding this number in place a little bit because Steph Curry is uncertain to play, but he's traveled with the team. As you and I talked about before we went ahead and hit record, he's now practicing with the team as well. So great value if he does play. But honestly, even if he doesn't, the Warriors are just light years ahead of the Miami Heat right now, and they're coming off of a loss. So I think they're going to be extra locked in for this one.
Yeah, I can't talk you off. I mean, these two teams are headed in opposite directions. I pray that the Heat make the play-in tournament because I know that they're not really trying to do much. So I just need them to make the tournament because I just need them to make that play-in tournament. It's gonna be a great opportunity for us, in my opinion. But yeah, for this game, they're coming off a win. I mean, if that wasn't from the Hornets, I mean, they had lost 9 straight before. I believe their losing streak had got up to double digits,
10.
like 10 straight losses. So they're coming off a win. I do think that the Heat will be turned up for this one early. This is the worst fourth quarter team in the league. It doesn't even matter. If you like the Heat, you want to take them early. I do expect them, like I look at it from both sides. I expect them to be rowdy and ready for this one. But the fourth quarter, it doesn't matter, man. they get a double-digit lead and they piss it away almost every single time, man. So this is one where if I want the Warriors, I specifically want them full game. And honestly, Brendan, if we like to look at things from all different aspects, you could possibly even get a better number live. I expect the Heat to go on a run. At some point, they might even have a 5-point lead. But if you're betting this game pregame, it has to be Warriors or nothing, man. The Heat, they're this is I've heard Heat fans say that this is probably one of the worst Heat teams that they've witnessed in a while. And it's not because of the players, but it's just because like they just can't put it all together, man. I'm hearing rumblings that they have a little bit of locker room issues, man, all type of stuff. So the Heat are in a world of hurt right now, and I'm sure they'll be turned up for this one. Might cover first quarter, first half, but full game, I want no parts of the Heat. Warriors are trying to keep that 6th seed as well. So a lot of motivation coming off a loss. We know that Jimmy's going to want this win. We know that the players are going to want to win this game for him as well. But regardless of all that, they need every win they can get to keep down this, hold down that 6th seed because teams are breathing up their back, man. So every game is like a playoff game for the Warriors. They need this one. Heat are going nowhere, man.
I love what you said about going about this in terms of live betting the game, and look, you can only do this if you plan on watching it, because otherwise you don't want to just be at the grocery store guessing. You don't know who got hurt or what's
Right.
going on, so only do that if you're watching the game. I've been trying to kind of fine tune my process when it comes to that, and what I have found that works for me in regards to what you said is if I know I want to be on a team, I'm at least going to put half a unit on them pregame. I don't want to get caught in a situation where I want to be on Golden State. They start the game up 10-0, and Miami just never has a shot. And I'm just sitting there going, I read this game perfectly, and I'm not in on it. And then what you might end up doing, because it's all about psychology, is you might end up chasing a number that you're not comfortable with because you just want to be on it. So I would just suggest sprinkle a little bit pregame, but I love the strategy because you're probably right. Miami leads by somewhere between 5 and 10. They feel good about themselves, maybe even going into halftime, and you just have to pick your spot. Think of what number you would be comfortable with in the middle of the game and then fire on that number rather than letting your emotions take over in the moment.
Yeah, I really think that's important what you said. First off, about putting the half unit already on the game. Because like you said, that could definitely happen. Warriors come out and up 15, 20 in the first quarter, and then boom, that's done. But at least you already had a half unit on it. So you want to have some on it. But another key thing, you want to be watching the game, man. Somebody could be in foul trouble. Draymond, somebody that's important. Jimmy Butler could possibly even have 2 fouls in the first quarter or something. Or maybe you could just see that the Warriors just don't have it that night. So one thing I've noticed, like in today's NBA game, you definitely can make money just off live betting. You can see what teams are hot. Some teams maybe look like they went to the club the night before. You never know, but you have to watch the game so that you're locked in with it, and then you can really find some great opportunities to live bet. But I like what you said there about putting a half unit on it, then you can play the rest from there. But honestly, in my opinion, I expect the Heat to get at least a 5-point lead in this game, and you might be able to get a Warriors -1, or maybe if they go up 10, you'll definitely be able to get plus money. But we've seen this. This is actually a pattern here for the Heat. They'll come out playing well. Second half, third, fourth quarter, that 10-point lead is going quick, man. I'm telling you, just watch the Heat. I believe they've done this. They've done it. I know the couple of games before the Hornets, they did it 2 straight games. They led versus the Pistons. They led versus the Rockets as well. And then just couldn't. They covered both of those games, but ended up losing both of them in the final minutes. I expect them to do the exact same thing here.
I feel like that happened. I'm pulling up the game log. That happened recently against the Knicks.
Yeah,
they had this big lead that was 4 games ago
and lost by 21. Wow.
they were up by, it felt like they were up by 1 million early, and I was sitting there, and this is the reality of sports betting. I'm sitting there, I have a 5-year-old, I'm playing with my kid, and I don't want to be a shitty parent, so I was looking at the TV screen, I'm like, I should probably be live betting the Knicks right now, but I didn't want to go grab my phone. Next thing I knew, by the time they hit the commercial break, that value had been zapped. So, sometimes you do have to choose parenting over live betting. These are the real pieces of advice that we're giving you.
Nah, for sure. So they led that game that you're talking about in New York. They were up 12-0 to start the game. Had a 31-18 lead. And then they only led by 2. at the end of the at halftime.
Yeah.
Third quarter, outscored 41-15. Good.
I've been a Tommy John guy for the last couple of years. You heard us open the show talking about Tommy John. We're in the Tommy John home studios, and that's because great games start with great underwear, and Tommy John makes the greatest. I've been wearing these bad boys every Magic game that I go to. I can't go a game without them. And this has been going on for the last couple of years. So it's perfect that I get to talk to you about it here on this podcast. Remember, when you're truly comfortable, you do everything better, and that includes betting. So if you love buckets, if you love this crew, you'll love Tommy John. Get 25% off of your first order right now at TommyJohn.com/buckets. That's 25% at TommyJohn.com/buckets. All right, let's put a bow on this conversation because you and I, not the biggest parlay guys from what I can gather, but I do think there's an opportunity here because you really like the Magic.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with you there. I'm just playing the game from a different angle. But I like the Golden State Warriors, and we're thinking that this team at some point in some way, shape, or form is going to run away with this. If we parlay these two money lines together, now we just need these teams to win the game. We get it at plus 130. So are we in for the parlay and trying to see if we can double up these wins?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, if you can get if I'm ever going to suggest a parlay, it would never be more than two teams. And if you can get two teams, two favorites that you think are going to win, have confidence, and you can get a two-team money line parlay at plus money, that's when I think it's worth it. Especially if you think that one of them might be a close game or somebody that you just need them to win. But if you can get plus money on a two-team parlay, two favorites that you expect to win, at that point, I would suggest a two-team money line parlay for sure. Plus 130, right?
Plus 130. So we're on that as well. So to recap, Jay is on the Magic minus 4.5. They're in Charlotte on the second night of a back-to-back. I like the Golden State Warriors minus 5 in Miami. A couple of different ways that you can play that one, but we're also going to take the Magic and the Warriors on the money line parlayed at plus 130. When you're truly comfortable, you do everything better, and that includes betting. So go get yourself some Tommy Johns. Shout out to our producer, David Payne, for steering the ship on tonight's episode. That's a wrap for our Tuesday podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get buckets.